Hi everybody, my name is Ursula Philpot. I'm a registered dietitian and I'm presenting a series of videos around how you can change diet and food habits to help you manage persistent pain better. One kind of teaching tool that dietitians and nutritionists and other healthcare professionals use in helping people to think about the portions of food that are right on the plate is something called the plate model. So when we think about the plate model, it tells us that half our plate should be fruits or vegetables. Around a third of our plate or quarter of our plate to a third of our plate should be kind of starchy foods like rice, pasta, potatoes, those kind of things. And then a third to a quarter of a plate should be protein foods. And those are things like meat, beans, peas, pulses, fish, those kind of products. So I'm just going to take you through a series of plate models and get you to have a think about some typical kind of UK meals and what we're looking for to change those to in terms of the proportions on the plate or the amount of foods that you're having on the plate. So the first one that I would get you to think about might be a curry and a kind of a rice product. So traditionally you might go for half a plate of curry and half a plate of rice. So one of the problems with that would be that there's no fruit and vegetables in there. And actually the fruits and vegetables should be the bigger part of the plate, not the smallest part of the plate. So if we were to change that, we would maybe have a curry with lots of vegetables in it and a little bit of a side salad on the side. And we would have much more of that vegetable curry and a little bit less of that rice on the plate. And then we would get a much more balanced meal. If we were to think about another type of typical UK lunch, so something like a sandwich. So I've got here a sandwich with some white bread and some meat in it. So we would be saying for Mediterranean style eating to switch and have less bread, and preferably whole grain bread, and obviously to have less meat as well. So maybe one of the swaps that you could do would be to go from 2 slices of bread to 1 slice of wholemeal bread and to have a lot more vegetables and salads on top of that with far less meat. Or maybe you switch your meat to something like eggs or fish or a kind of beans, peas or pulses. So we can switch one to make the proportions better by adding things into that a little bit more. Another swap that we can do, if we look at the plate of kind of chips and chicken, we can see that actually there's no vegetables or fruits on that plate, and the chicken is quite a large portion of the plate and the chips are quite a large portion of the plate. So we'd need to swap that to make the chips a much smaller part of the plate, the chicken a bit smaller part of the plate, and add in some vegetables to that plate to balance up those proportions. Again, pasta is quite a common meal that lots of people have. And people often tend to serve pasta with just pasta, sauce and some kind of meat or some fish within the sauce. The problem with that is that there's no vegetables or fruits in there and they're not the majority of the plate. So to switch that around, we would say have far more fruits and vegetables on that plate, at least kind of a third fruits and vegetables, keep the pasta to just a third of the plate and keep the protein, the fish, the meat, the beans, peas and pulses, again to around a third of the plate. So switching those portions over to make that balance better. The last one is thinking about the rice and meat again. So again, there's a picture here of rice and meat together that covers most of the plate. The problem there is that we haven't got enough vegetables or fruits in there, and we've got quite a lot of rice and quite a lot of meat. So we'd want to reduce that rice portion, reduce that meat portion, and add in a far bigger fruits or vegetable portion to balance that up. So thank you for listening to the video today. This is one of a series of videos that you can access from the Rethinking Pain website or the Rethinking Pain YouTube channel. In addition to that, we also have a diet therapy workshop that runs, and you can see a member of the Rethinking Pain team if you would like to access that workshop. And the more people we get, the better. So please come along.